Yo, what is up guys, Ghost here, and today we're going to be taking a look at a couple of leaks that have come out for Season 6, or the map for Season 6 of Battlefield 2042. So as you guys know, towards the end of each season, DICE generally like to lead us on a bit of an Easter egg hunt, and that Easter egg hunt usually culminates in the unlocking of a player card or two. And those two player cards seem to have been data mined for the upcoming event, which will of course give us a clue to Season 6. So we're going to take a look at those two cards, and then on top of that we've also got a screenshot of the deploy screen of an actual map. This came out a while ago, so you guys may have seen this doing the rounds on Reddit, although it didn't really pick up much traction because I haven't noticed it before. So I do want to take a look at that and compare it to what we see in the player cards here as well, because this is some pretty interesting stuff. Full disclosure though, this is of course all completely speculative, so you will need to bring your tinfoil hats with you. Before we begin though, as always guys, if you do enjoy the content here on the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos. We are aiming for 48,000 subscribers. That is the current goal, so if you guys can help me out in that regard, you guys know me, always appreciated. Thanks for that. Alright, let's just jump right into it here. So this is the first player card screenshot. And as you can see, this seems to be some sort of a high-tech facility. We see these cabinets with doors on them down either side of this corridor, and as far as I can make out, these are server cabinets or server room doors, and you can see the cabling there running up as well. So this seems to be some sort of a high-tech facility, maybe military, and then towards the end there, up the stairs, we can see what seem to be 3 windows or possibly doors. Now there is some text that goes along with this player card, and this is what it says. "Let's try again," he said. "What's your name?" "I am the Aurora operating system, responsible for..." No, what's your name? Who are you?" "AOS. "And what do you do?" "I protect Boreas. I create our future." Her creator smiled. "Exactly." So this seems to be the creator of some sort of an machine, some sort of an AI that is presumably housed in these servers in this facility. And my guess would be that this is some sort of an AI that is going to like repopulate or regrow the world based on the fact that Battlefield 2042 is, you know, this dystopian world, and agriculture has kind of gone to shit, as we see in maps like Renewal, for example. And if we look at player card number 2 here, I think this further captures that idea in my mind. We see some sort of a biome here. You've got this hexagon-like dome biome structure, and you can see trees in here. And in fact, the first thing that sprang to mind for me is actually a place called the Eden Project, which is in Cornwall in the southwest corner of England. I used to holiday here as a child, and sometimes my family would take me off to this place, and it's basically a bunch of biomes where it's kind of like a jungle biome, right? There are scorpions growing in there, there are bananas. They have sort of artificially created the correct environment, humidity, temperature, and all of that stuff to be able to grow things that you would otherwise not be able to in the UK. So it's pretty cool. It's like stepping into another country temporarily. Now, I'm sure that's not what this facility is. I'm sure they're not growing bananas there, but that's the first thing that came to mind when I saw this biome. Now, there's also some text that goes with this one. So it says, "The sky wasn't real. He'd shot a panel out of it last week. Or yesterday. Last month. The barracks biological subject containment had no clocks. New people came. New people died. The reward for passing tests was getting strapped down and fit with combat implants. No anesthetic." He scratched another tick into the aluminium signing of their mock cover. 10 Geists down and countless to go. So it sounds like there were also some pretty dodgy experiments going on in this place. Now granted, these player cards don't really tell us anything about the way the map is going to look, the layout of the map, anything like that. But I think what they do tell us is that this is definitely not going to be a map remake. In fact, just in yesterday's video, I thought the reason that DICE were attempting to drum up hype around Season 6, saying that we will be quite surprised with the content, could be because it was a fan favourite remake like Operation Metro, for example. But I can't recall any Battlefield map that has this biome in it. This is obviously going to be an integral part of the map. I guess it could be, you know, a map like Reclaimed that is inspired by an old map, but it's definitely not going to be a one-to-one remake. However, let's move on to this map screenshot here. So this screenshot was apparently leaked by EA themselves. I believe they were trying to post some information regarding the skate game in one of their discords, and somehow this screenshot accidentally made it in there. And as you can see, it is of the deployment screen of a map that is a work in progress here. So we see the C1 flag, and a lot of you may be thinking, oh, this is a snow map. That is actually not snow, it's actually just grayscale, I think they call it. It's basically when you don't have any textures on a map. This is a map obviously in a pretty early stage, and they've just got, you know, certain models down on the ground here. But despite the map's early stage, we can tell quite a few things. So first of all, in the top left corner, there is a helipad, leading us to believe that this may be some sort of a military structure around here. However, I want you guys to focus down towards the south of the map, because if you look at those two orangey red roofs, those kind of look like residential buildings, don't they? They don't look like military housing at all. And then next door to that could be some sort of a school or a hospital maybe. There seems to be a road leading down the back. And then next to the left house, I think we see what almost look like umbrellas there with like sunbathing seats next to them, and a couple of cars even. So this indeed does seem to be like a civilian neighborhood, which we haven't seen in Battlefield 2042 yet, and I know a lot of players have been calling out for urban combat, some sort of urban warfare, and perhaps this could be it. Now I also want to note that we see the deployment on the left side and the right side. The most obvious explanation for this is that this is breakthrough. That's why you see the one flag here, or the one objective between the two deployments. But the other explanation, if this is conquest, because we do see what appears to be another objective to the south of C1, this appears to be the north of the map, of course. The other explanation could be that this is maybe like a 3-flag, small-scale urban conquest map, and perhaps you have either deployment running right down the side of the map, and it's, you know, not linear at all. You can go for any of the flags from your deployment that you want. Now, that being said, guys, all of this is just complete speculation. This map could have been canned. It's not unknown for DICE to work on a map, find out that when they playtest it, it just isn't a lot of fun, or it's not a good idea. Maybe they make multiple maps for a season and then they just select the best map out of it. You know, sometimes they do can projects, so this could easily be some sort of a test project or something they just didn't decide to plod ahead with. And I have to say, based on the two player cards, these two concepts don't really match up to one another. I mean, yes, the biome could just be some small part of the map, so I guess, you know, it could exist within the map, and then you could have the residential neighborhood and another place of the map. But nevertheless, I found this pretty interesting to take a look at here. Now, I'm guessing there's probably somebody watching this video right now who knows a lot more about the lore of Battlefield 2042 than I do, so maybe they can read a little bit more into what is said in these two player cards and the descriptions that I gave, because I will be the first person to admit that I have pretty much zero interest when it comes to the lore of Battlefield 2042. I think it's like a cool concept, but all the text that they're putting in the game, I'm just kind of like, yeah, whatever. I just glaze over it. So maybe these people have been mentioned before. Maybe this Aurora operating system or this Boreas area or facility has been mentioned in some of the lore before. So if anybody knows anything about that, feel free to comment down below, because that will be definitely interesting to hear. But that is going to do it for this one. I think I've gone on for quite long enough, so well done if you made it all the way to the end of the video. As always, guys, leave your comments below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, of course, as well, and subscribe for more Battlefield content, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.